Everyone, and welcome to another edition of our lectures on trading psychology, mindset, and emotional regulation. So, today we are going to be talking about feeling good as a trader, and is really feeling good as a trader a good thing? How does feeling good destroy our performance or sabotage our performance as traders? So, trading, as contrary to popular belief, is not a feel good profession. So when you start feeling good, there are certain things that you might do because you're now acting from that excitement. And that is why we are talking about trading is not a feeling good profession. So if you came into trading looking for excitement, motivation, dopamine, validation, you have already started from the wrong footing. So before most of us we get into trading, the truth is that just the mindset that we are bringing into trading has already destroyed our trading, because we bring in our own expectations into the market and we want the market to fulfill these expectations at each and every time. So trading is not about motivation. The market does not care about how motivated you are, right? And trading is not about therapy. It is not something that you run to in your distress moment. And it is not about entertainment. And certainly, it is not a shortcut to confidence. So, my friends, trading is all about a profession. It is performance. It is a performance-based skill, and it is a probability business. So the key truth is that if trading feels good most of the time, you're likely over trading, gambling, or violating rules. So when you see yourself feeling so excited, right, there is a great possibility that you're doing it wrong. And excitement in trading often leads to what we call euphoria. And when euphoria begins to take in, or when euphoria begins to overcome your thinking, you are going to feel as if you are the king of the market, and you can now do anything that you want to do. You can now over risk, you can now over trade, and you can now do a lot of things because you feel excited and you feel over confidence. So feeling good is good, but when you bring it into trading, there are a number of ways in which it can easily sabotage your trading, right? So like we have been saying, trading is not about motivation. It is not about coming to seek excitement. If you want excitement, there are a lot of activities that you can do out of trading that are very exciting. You could go for a picnic, you could go for any fun exercise, and that is what you are going to be seeking. You're seeking your excitement in. Trading is not about motivation. The market does not care how motivated you are. So you could be the most motivated person on earth. But when you come into trading, motivation at one time is a killer of our trading performance, because motivation at times causes you to overlook the discipline, the patience, and the process that you need to bring into trading. But you are now feeling so motivated, especially if you are focused on outcomes, right? So we talked about outcome goals and process oriented goals. And if you have not watched that video, you can go back and you watch that video again. So if this is your first time watching us or coming across our video, we make sure that we provide you with this content over and over, because a lot of people think that success in trading actually comes by them mastering all the strategies that we have out there, mastering indicators. But the reality is that the mindset and you yourself that you're bringing into trading is a valuable part of your trading. So most of our traders out there, they underlook this aspect. And when you underlook this aspect, you're going to see that some patterns keep on repeating. You will know the technicals, you will know the indicator, you can predict where the market is going to reverse. But when it comes to that level, there is a big problem. All right. So when you come to that level, there is a big So, like I was saying, if this is your first time coming across our videos on YouTube, please make sure to follow, make sure to like, make sure to subscribe to the channel because your mindset as a trader influences a lot about your trading. So, if your mind isn't in the right place, your trading as well isn't going to be in the right place. So, learning about learning how to understand your own self, understanding your own self is far more important as well. Right? I think it is the most important part of trading because if you see the way people analyze the market today, you're going to see that we have a lot of technical analysts out there. But when it comes to traders that are consistently making money out of the market, it is still a big problem. So this is the bridge that we want to cross. And if you don't cross this bridge, you are going to have a good technical system, but you still find yourself repeating the same mistakes over and over and over and over again and again. And this is not usually because your system is not working, but because you yourself, the trader, hasn't trained the mind to function in the trading environment. So make sure to follow our channel, make sure to subscribe, make sure to hit that notification button so that anytime we drop our contents, you are going to get notified. So, what do you think is the biggest difference between a profitable trader or a consistently profitable trader and a trader that is still struggling? What do you think it is? Let us know in the comment section. I am going to reply my own answer and we see if what you know is the same thing that I know. So I made mention of this in the last video that we had, right? So even before coming into the game called trading, our personality, our emotions as a trader has already checkmated us, has already set us up for failure, right? So our emotions are the biggest obstacles. So I've already given away a clue, right? So even if you are so motivated, right, you are never going to make it in trading if you don't build the necessary discipline to back it up. If you have the motivation, no discipline, you will have a good system, but very poor performance. So when I started trading, I usually ask myself, I knew where the market was going to turn. Right? I know where this market is going to turn. I see everything. I execute my trade, but I end up losing money on that trade. And I began to ask myself, but why is it happening this way? So even before your mind or your conscious thinking can respond, there is something in between or there is something hidden within you which is called your emotions, right? So even before you can think, your emotions have already done the thinking and done the conclusion for you, right? So the core truth is that if trading feels good most of the time, right, you are probably doing it the wrong way. So you are going to hear most profitable trader, what they tell you is that trading feels boring. Do you know why it feels boring? It feels boring because you have mastered one system. You execute that same system over and over and over and over again. And also, uh, excuse me, you have executed the system over and over and over again, right? And you're doing the same thing over and over. Just imagine you doing the same thing over and over. It becomes boring. Also, you need to wait a lot of patience for you to be able to speak out those high probability setups. So there are always opportunities in the market, but not every opportunity is an opportunity for you to trade off from. There are high probability opportunities and there are low probability opportunities. So when you come into trading and you're already excited, like feeling good, thinking about the money that trading is going to give you, looking at the way Some people are spending money online, feeling excited about it, feeling as if you should be spending money in that way because you are a trader, right? That is the wrong approach to trading. So your trading journey must not be like the ones that you see online, all right? Your trading journey must not be in that same way. You must not flash car around or money around for you to say you're a trader. You could choose to become whatever you want to be as a trader. That is the freedom about trading, and that is the good thing about trading. All right. So this trading that we come into, why do people expect trading to feel good, right? Why do we always expect trading to feel good? So most beginners come with the wrong programming into trading. And there is also a video on the mindset that you should adopt as a beginner. You should check out our playlist and you're going to see this video there. Your mindset at the beginning of your journey will also determine your result at the end of the journey. So it is actually just a continuous journey. There is no beginning, there is no end. So most beginners they fall to the social media lies, right? They fall to the social media lies. Wins are glorified, losses are hidden, right? And discipline is invisible. They make it feel like it is very, very easy. So, what they are doing mostly is selling you the result rather than the process that is going to give you the result. And that is the mistake that we want to correct in the Easy FX family. Not teaching you about the result or not showing you result, but giving you the actual thing that is needed for you to become a profitable trader. So that is what we are looking for. So school and society also help us, right, to program our minds to fail as a trader. And school and society will tell you that working hard actually feels like you're doing something. You must work hard, you must do that. But when you come into trading, hard work is not usually paid in trading. You are ever paid in trading by waiting, which often feels like no work. All right. So when you bring that mindset that we have built from school and society into trading, work hard, it feels as if every time you should be in the market trading and trading and trading. That is the mindset that society and school has conditioned us to. All right. So trading does not reward effort, it rewards accuracy. No matter how much effort you put into trading, if you are not able to act accurately, execute your trades without hesitation, hold on to your trades, even if the trades are going against you, right? You are still going to be facing a lot of problems. So trading does not reward effort, but it rewards accuracy. And that is what school has taught us, right? That to reward effort. That is why you have a report card, you have all these things that we do, an examination, and all of those things. So we reward effort, but in trading, it rewards accuracy. So you see that the mind that we are naturally bringing into trading has not just been developed for this environment called trading. So emotional attachment to money. This is this is a very big problem with every trader, especially at the beginning. Money to them feels like your ego, right? So when you're losing money, it feels like you're losing your self-worth as a human being. And when you take a loss, it begins to feel personal. And when it begins to feel personal, because they have hit on your self worth. So if society and everybody is telling you that your net worth, right, is evaluated in money. So if your net worth is losing, what is happening to you? You're losing your power. So when you begin to lose that power, how do you think you're going to feel? You're going to feel like jumping back to get back that money. You're going to feel like revenge trading, over trading, and totally abandoning your rules when you take a loss. So losses feel personal when you are attached to money. and wins are often inflate confidence, right? So when you take a win, you feel like you are the king of the market and you can now do anything. And that is when the market usually teaches the biggest lesson, right? So people chase their emotions instead of executing with their system. So you might think that you are the one trading, but you sit in front of your laptop and the person that is doing the trading for you is your emotions, right? So the truth about the market is that the market is neutral, all right? So the market is emotionally neutral. It does not care if you are from a poor background, if you're trading with $1, if you're trading with $1 million, if you're trading with $1 billion, the market does not care who you are. So the market is emotionally neutral, does not know you, does not care about your bills, does not reward your hope, and does not punish effort. All right. So the market only responds to liquidity, structure, time, and probability. Those are the only things that the market cares about. So instead of focusing on what you cannot control, I always tell my students to focus on the things that you can control. All right. Focus on what you can control in trading, and the things that you cannot control, you leave them out. And usually, what most of us are doing is that we are focusing on the things that we cannot control, all right? Like outcomes, we are focusing on the amount of money that we should be making or we can be making. That is what we are focused on. So it means we are focused on the things that we cannot control. All right. You cannot control if the market gives you a winning position or a losing position. You cannot control wherever the market goes to. You cannot control the weather. And so you cannot control nothing about trading, but you can control most at times your own self, your entry, your execution, your risks, and all of those things, your leverage, your position sizing. Those are the things that you can control as a trader. So the market does not care who you are. It does not care how motivated you are. It does not care about anything. All it does is it cares only about liquidity, it cares about structure, it cares about your timing, your entry, your execution, and it only cares about probability. There is no person that will ever tell you that when I got into this trade, I knew 100% it was going to be a winning trade, right? So it could be a winning trade, it could be a losing trade. That is just the market. That is just the market. That is just how the market is. Okay, so if you're gaining value from what we are saying, please make sure to leave us a comment. Make sure to reply with what you want us to clarify you on. Make sure to hit that subscribe button so that you don't miss out on any of these our lectures. Now, discipline at times always feels like it is boring, all right? So, waiting is very uncomfortable. Missing traits is painful, all right? Sitting on your hands and doing nothing feels very boring, but that is discipline. Accepting losses calmly and gracefully, that is discipline. But this is not what your mind has been trained to do. Repeating the same process over and over. So it becomes boring. Discipline becomes a boring process. And I just explained to you the reason why most people, when they reach profitability, you start hearing them saying that trading is boring. It is because they follow the same system over and over and over. And when you do the same thing over and over and over and over and over again, the likelihood is that it becomes boring. Now, this all feels bad to the human brain. The waiting, the sitting on your hands, the seeing people make money when you're not making money, repeating the same process over and over again. This feels bad to the human brain. and the brain wants stimulation. It wants something to do. It is always craving to do something. All right. The brain wants certainty. It wants to be sure that when I take this trade, it is going to be a winning trade. That is why we always try to predict the future. uh, that is what we human beings we do. We always try to predict the future, try to do forecast to see what the weather is going to bring for us, because naturally that is how the mind is. That is how the mind has been built. The mind has been built to seek certainty. But now we are trading in an environment that is always screaming uncertainty. How do you think the mind is going to respond? The brain wants quick wins. It wants to put on that trade immediately and it sees it in profit, because we have been trained to seek instant gratification. And as a trader, you must be able to practice delayed gratification. Think in the long term. All right. So when you put on that trade, and it is still dancing and dancing, in as much as your structure is still telling you that you are doing the right thing, your plan is is okay, then you need to hold on to that trade. So when you get into a trade and you're not making any money yet, you jump out. When you jump out, the market goes in your favor. That is a trap that we find most traders falling into day after day. So, my friends, the reality is that boredom is a sign of structure in trading, and emotional excitement is a sign of danger. Once you are a trader, you are not allowed to feel good, especially when you sit in front of your trading screen to trade. You are not allowed to feel good. Feeling good is going to sabotage your trading. Feeling good as a trader makes you think that you are now above the market. All right. So the market will only respond to structure. And structure means you having a routine that you need to do each and every day. Okay, let's say you are in a school environment, like I was in a boarding school. We have a routine in school. Get up 5:30, bathe, go to the chapel. From the chapel, you go to class. From class, you go to the refectory. From the refectory, you're back to class. From class again, you have maybe a short break. That is a routine. And at times, following this same routine over and over and over and over becomes boring. That is why that discipline process that we follow in school, right, becomes boring. And you find yourself dodging away from some of those activities, like some of us we did back in school. So the mind is always seeking that excitement. But the truth is that a profitable trader understands that discipline is not excitement. When you are excited, it means that your emotions are ruling the game. All right. So feelings that always destroy our trading. All right. So there are a lot of feelings, there are a lot of emotions. So our emotions usually come up as feelings. So you say, I am feeling this way, I am feeling excited, I am feeling sad, I am feeling grumpy, I am feeling that way. Those are your emotions coming up. All right. And some of the most dangerous emotions that we have in trading is fear. All right. And fear is the number one killer of not only our trading performance, but also our lives as human beings. All right. So it is very, very sad, because most of the organizations that we have today, the schools, the churches, the government, they have been teaching us to fear a lot of things. And unfortunately, this fear is leading us nowhere. So we are repeating the same mistakes over and over and over and over again, but expecting new results. So we are knocking on old doors and expecting new doors to get open for us. So you must learn how to rewire the mind to see fear differently, to see greed differently, and to respond to your emotions differently. All right. So you must do that, especially as a trader. So fear is going to cause you to enter into entries late, miss your trades, hesitate when the opportunity is there. Hold on to a trade, you cannot hold on to it because you're scared. Greed, over trading, all right? So you want to make all the money in the world on one trade, and you want to do that on a $10 account, right? And at the end of the day, what happens is that you over risk on that trade and account gets blown. That is the pattern that most traders find themselves in, day out, and they are wondering what is happening. But I know this technical analysis, what is happening. The truth is that the answer, my friend, is living within you. And if you don't do the inner work, it is always going to be reflecting on your trading account. Euphoria. We have been talking about euphoria. When you get excited, you begin to get into this state of euphoria where you feel like you're above everything, you're above the market, and nobody is above the market. As a trader, you are a humble student to the market always. So you are a follower of price action and not the one who is setting the rules. So you always let price do what it has to do, then you follow from what price has to do. But when you get your mind, or when the mind gets into this feeling of euphoria or this state of euphoria, you feel as if you're the one in control of the market, and you start breaking your rules. You break your rules, you over leverage, you over trade, and do all the nonsense that we do as traders. You revenge trade. Revenge is part of an emotion. It's part of our emotions that we have been building, right? So emotions are always going to be there. Let nobody tell you that trade without emotions. There is no way you can trade without your emotions. You must learn how to control your emotions, but not how to trade without them. So emotions are always going to be there, showing up every time we place a trade. But now what makes the difference is how well you handle yourself when those emotions show up. So revenge is also an emotion that we find in trading a lot of times, right? So when you take a loss, you get emotional. You want to make back that money, and by the end of the day, you blow your account. I've found myself in such a situation a couple of times, all right? So I have that experience. If you've ever experienced it, please let us know in the comment section, and maybe we could just give you and explain it detailedly, and we could give you a good answer to your question and what to apply, all right? And you are going to see changes if you apply it. Hope, holding on to losing trades. So the market has already shifted structure. It has already invalidated your setup, but because you're still feeling hopeful, you're holding on to that trade. And when you hold on to that trade, what happens is that you end up blowing your account. This is the trap that we find ourselves in as traders, right? So professionals, they feel the emotions but do not obey them. That is why I say you cannot do away with your emotions, but you can learn how to work with them. You can learn how to work with fear. You can learn how to work with euphoria. You can learn how to work with hope rather than trying to fight them. Whenever you're trying to fight them, you're going to be enforcing those feelings as you're going to be enforcing those feelings, all right? So whatever you resist will persist. It is a natural uh, tendency or a natural law in the universe. Whatever you try to fight against, it is always going to persist. So ask yourself, everything that we have been trying to fight against as human beings, a fight against corruption, a fight against slavery, a fight against this, a fight against that, but at the end of the day, these things still persist. So my friends, anything that you're fighting against will continue to persist, all right? So you must look for ways to deal with them amicably. So, what real trading looks like? How do professionals handle themselves? And how do the amateurs handle themselves. A professional trader has well predefined rules. So they are not trading randomly, they are not gambling, but they are following a rule set. They have their rules that they follow. Okay, if the market does like this, I will do like this. If it does like this, I will do like this. Those are rules. That is a plan before you trade. But most of us, what we do is that you just get up in the morning and you look at your MT5 and you look at it because your mentor told you that a bullish engulfing candle is a signal for you to buy, and you don't care if the trend is bullish or bearish because you have seen a pattern, you just want to trade, right? So you have no system, you have no rules, and that is why you keep on making mistakes as a beginner, as an amateur in trading. A professional is someone that accepts losses without drama. Okay, I lost. Okay, good and fine. It is a business expense. So if you're somebody who is more spiritually inclined like me, I understand that we never truly lose anything. So when we anything that appears to be a loss, like when you sow one seed, it goes out, it brings more seeds. So whenever I take a loss in trading, that is how my thinking shifts. So I think about the law of abundance, and I understand that the universe is a universe of abundance. And so whatever I lost, I am going to gain it back double. Okay. So it is not only in trading, it might not come through trading, it might come through different sources because I am open to all sources of abundance that the universe has prepared for us. All right. So that feeling, that mindset of abundance is what helps me not to chase after losses. Okay. So execute without excitement. If you can execute without being emotional about your execution, then you are getting to that professional level, or you are already at that professional level. So remember, excitement in trading is going to lead you to do a lot of things that you will only regret, or you will only get to know about them or to see the damage after the smoke has cleared. Okay, so a professional is also somebody who journals their results, their emotions, all right? And they journal everything. You journal if your trade was a winning trade, was a losing trade, your emotions, and all of those things. That is what your journal is made for. And most amateurs, they don't have journals. And the most important thing that you do as a professional trader is you focus on the process and not the outcome. So professional traders, they focus on the process and not the outcome. But what you find amateurs do, they do the opposite. They focus on the result because results are what is being sold online, but the process is left behind. All right. So that when they show you all the results, you can come and then you pay for more mentorship. Okay, that is the truth. But the truth is that your success as a trader will come through the process and the mindset that you bring into the moment of performance. All right. So, my friends, an amateur is going to respond to the market like, how do I feel about this trade? But a professional will respond like this. Does this meet my rules? So look at the difference. The struggling trader is focusing on how they are feeling and not the rules. And trading, my friend, is a mechanical process. When you trade based on feelings, you understand that your feelings can change at every time. So when you trade based on your feelings, my friends, it is always going to be a mental war. All right. It's always going to be a mental war. When the market goes up, your feelings go up. When it goes down, your feelings go down. That is the situation that we find ourselves as traders, right? So The most important thing here is for a mindset shift. The wrong mindset is one that says, I trade to feel confidence. And a correct mindset is one that says, I trade to execute my edge consistently. You see, one is trading to feel good, one is trading to execute their edge consistently. So the wrong mindset will ask question like, will this trade win? Why the correct mind will ask questions like, is this trade valid? That is the truth. All right. And the right mindset is also a mindset that will see losses as part of the job. So if you have a business and you're running a business, even if it's a physical business, you understand that at times you're going to have expenses, you're going to have drawdowns in your business. All right. So when you take a loss, consider it as an expense in doing business. All right. So they are part of the job, or maybe you just pay taxes, maybe you just paid for a renovation of something in your business. All right. Maybe you want to renovate. The market said, okay, you took this trade, but you jumped out of it because you were feeling afraid. Now you just pay dividend to learn about controlling your fear. So see those losses as lessons rather than setbacks. All right. So that is the mindset that is going to set you apart from other traders. If this mindset shift, my friend, does not occur, it is going to take you a longer time. And in as much as you don't accept these things are going to be sabotaging your trading over and over, and you're going to be wondering what is happening to your trading account. You know the technicals, you know everything, you know the other blocks, you know the ICT principles, you know the Y curve, you know support resistance, you know everything, but profitability is still far fetched. It is not because you don't have a good system, but it is because the mind that you're bringing into trading has not just been developed to function in that environment. So, the core easy FX principle, right? And you can write this down. And this is the principle that all of my students are trained based on. So, our core principle in the Easy FX family is that trading is a profession that rewards discipline, patience, and emotional neutrality, not feelings. Trading is a profession that rewards discipline, patience, and emotional neutrality, and not feelings. And in short, trading is a profession that strives on process. So focus on process rather than result. Your question should not be how much did I make today, but how well did I follow my process today? Not how much did I lose today, how well did I follow my process today? That is when you start thinking like a professional easy FX trader. So when you stop chasing how trading feels, you start progressing towards profitability. When you get at this stage, my friends, you can now start preparing yourself for the big breakthrough. So, my friends, incorporate this easy FX principle into your trading, and you are going to see a lot of significant changes in your trading, right? So, after learning all of these things, what can we put into practice to make sure that we don't feel excited, or we don't let our emotions, right, take over our conscious thinking when we are trading, because our emotions are constantly sabotaging your trading. So before you step into trading, your emotions have already checkmated you. All right. So that is what the beautiful thing that evolution has done for us. And it evolved to help us in our survival as human beings. But nowadays, we don't have all those dangers, all of those emotions that we used to face, or our ancestors used to face, right? When they were still living in the wild and had to face a lot of dangers. But the mind has not yet caught up to this new reality. It is still responding to ancient fears. And that is why you are always triggered to fight flight or freeze in situations not only in trading but in your daily life as well. So the first thing that you need to do is you need to trade valid setups only. Okay, these are your practical rule sets that you must put into practice. Trade only valid setups only. High probability setups only. Focus on quality rather than quantity. And your number one goal as a trader should not be to make money, but to protect what you already have. So, good risk management on an average strategy can still lead you to profitability. Bad risk management on a very good strategy can also lead you to your doom. All right. So, journal every trade that you take, journal it. If you don't have a journal, please go and get a journal for yourself. Your journal is going to help you a lot. It is like a reflection of you, the trader. So when you look back into your journal, you are able to look at where you faltered and where you have strengths in, so that you can work on those aspects as well. So what I want you to do is for you to go, and after this class, right, what you need to do is you write down your trading rules. Write down your entry conditions. Write down your invalidation points. Very important. And after each trade, you journal. Did I follow the rules? And if you did, yes. If you did not, no. Without attaching emotions to it. Okay. And the next thing is that you can also ignore profits and losses. All right. Ignore profit and losses and focus on your execution. So, your worth as a trader is not dependent on any win or loss that you make in the market, but on how well you followed your system. So, the goal is to build that professional behavior before you start building profits. So, you must become a professional trader inward before it can reflect in your outer reality. All right. So, my friends, this simple mindset shift, this simple transformation that occurs within us can lead us to a lot of progress in our trading, not only in trading, but in our daily lives, right? So, when you shift your mind in this way, it is not only going to reflect in trading, but it is also going to reflect in other aspects of your life, all right? So you judge yourself and your result by your discipline, by your patience, by your execution, by how well you respect your risk management, and not by the money that you are making. So judge your process, or uh, appreciate your process or your growth as a trader, not by the amount of money that you are making, but on how well you have been following your trading process. How have you been executing? How have you been managing risks? All of those things are the actual things that bring profitability in trading. All right. So, my friends, if you have watched right up to the end and right up to now, it is because you are learning something. And if you're learning something, it is also good that you share this video to somebody so that they learn something as well. So just give us a like. And when you give us a like, YouTube is going to recommend this video to other traders out there, so that this piece of information that we have just shared with you is going to help not only you, but the bulk of traders struggling out there. So the market is made up of a lot of money, trillions of dollars being traded every day. So there is no way that any particular trader is going to drain the whole market. All right. So we are still waiting for when that is going to happen. So you sharing this knowledge to somebody does not prevent you from making your own money. In the trading field, there is no competition against one another. All right. The only competition is your own self. How good are you becoming? How well are you following your process? How are you growing as a trader? So, my friends, trading is not meant to feel good. It is meant to make you precise. And if it is meant to make you precise, know that it entails discipline, patience, courage, self-soothing ability, and all of the things that we have been talking about. And most at times, the truth is that this structural process, this discipline process, this routine always feels boring. All right. And if you're seeking excitement, you are going to fall on the side of those who are always struggling to make money, right? And if you can follow a concise process, understanding that you are not allowed to feel good, especially when you sit in front of your trading decks, then you are going to naturally transition yourself into the percentage that is constantly winning in the market. So, if you want to reach out to us, and if you want to have access to any of our tools, we have courses, we have materials, we have a lot of things that we have put up. And there is a link, there is a hey link in the description, there is a seller link in the description. Everything that I am talking about, I have put them down, and they are not expensive, very, very cheap for you to grab those, copy your copy, and you keep it, right? And you learn from it over and over and over again. So if you need to have access to any of those our results, the hey link is in the description. You can just click on it and it is going to open you to the EasyFX official uh, links. Also, if you need support, mentorship, inquiries on training programs, you can connect with us through the links below. And you can join our Telegram channel where you're going to be gaining free knowledge on a daily basis. And if you want to join our mentorship program, if you have any difficulty that you think we can help you out with, then feel free to contact the number that you see on your screen. You can either call or you can either send us a message through WhatsApp, and we are going to be very, very happy to help you out. And if you're still that trader who is struggling with having problems with your broker, all right, this is our recommended broker, and the link is also in the description. You can just click on the link, create your account, and you're going to be enjoying good services from our choice broker. All right, so don't forget to join our Telegram channel where we give you daily doses of technical analysis, mindset, trading psychology, emotional regulation, and a lot of opportunities as well. Also on cryptocurrencies. So, my friends, if you have watched us right up to this level, I want to say thank you very much for being part of the family, for being a supporter of the community. And as we grow together as traders, may our paths continue to cross either online or in real life. Okay, so stop chasing feelings and start building your professionalism. Okay, don't trade because you want to feel good. Trade because you want to become a professional. Always ask yourself, how will a professional handle these situations? So, I wish you all the best in your respective activities. I wish you all the best in your trading journey. May the universe continue to guide, bless, protect, and provide for you each and every step of the way. God bless you all and have a great rest of your time. Bye bye.